ba-dum bum. Bum ba-dum bum. Bum bum bum. Bum ba-dum bum ba-dum. Hey guys, welcome back. We're not doing Star Wars Knights of the Republic today. Today I'm going to be casting a game that I played against a Protoss player today. I've been playing a lot of Zerg recently. Those of you who know me know that I play random in StarCraft, but recently I've been getting better. Oh, sorry, just getting my phone set up. But recently I've been playing Zerg to try and get better at Zerg because I was struggling a lot. Would be a understatement. Anyway, so as Zerg, I play a lot of Protoss because people are playing Protoss these days. And while it's not the most fun to play, it does lead to some pretty awesome games. And I want to show you guys a game that I played where I think I did pretty well. Obviously, it's Protoss, so it's shall we say unbalanced. I think that I would go that far to say that Protoss is a little bit unbalanced in the lower levels, but that doesn't mean it wasn't a really awesome game, and I would love to show it to you. So let me bring myself over here. And now we are going to into StarCraft. Let's make sure that this thing's working while I launch the replay. I don't have a lot of experience casting, so I'm gonna do my best. Obviously, it's gonna help the fact that that I actually played this game. So hold up. Let me just make sure that this is working on my phone. Yeah, it's working. Okay, cool. So without any further ado, yeah, this is working. Hold on, give me a second. Let me just make sure that the audio is working. I don't have a lot of experience casting, so I'm gonna do my best. Obviously, it's gonna help the fact that I'm not sure about the game audio. Hold on. Let me just make this a little bit louder. Good. Technical difficulties, people. We do it live. Okay. So without any further ado, let us get this started. I'm sorry, there might not be music actually, but we'll figure it out. Yeah, there's probably not gonna be music. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, here we go. Why is it so quiet? All right, because there's no music. Can I put on music, please? Options. No, that's not what I'm looking for. Sound. Oh, there is music. So why is it so quiet? Here, let's make this a little bit louder. I don't know why there's a music. Anyway, so here in the top left, yes, of light shift, light shade, we have the red Protoss player named Waterdrip, and in the bottom right we have the blue Zerg player, me, named Python. And he's making a joke at my name because I also code in Python. That's why I called myself Python. It's a pretty cool snake, and it's what I code in. And so he was like, import Protoss, because that's the thing that you say in Python. And this is another thing that you say in Python. It's a library. Anyway, we don't have to talk about what's going on in the chat for those of you who don't know how to code. Let's zoom out. I like to zoom out. All right. So I'm just sending my overlords out. All this is pretty standard. In fact, let's skip ahead a little bit because it's a pretty standard opening. Gateway on the low ground to start off the wall. Hatch, gas pool is my build. Just sending the overlords out to scout around a little bit, making sure that there's no cannon rush going on while we joke about Python. Cybercore after Nexus. My hatchery's done, making some Zerglings, making 2 queens, getting Zergling speed, and getting a 3rd base. Okay, let's slow it down now. This is ×2, this is normal. Very good. I got my Zerglings heading across the map, hoping to be able to do some stuff. He has an Adept coming to complete the wall. Is this a wall? I believe this is a wall. Hold on. I think this is a wall. Yeah, there's a wall. Alright, so my Zerglings are just going to try and see what he can do. They're trying to bait out the Adept. He's not having it. Ooh, but this happens. Okay. Alright, what am I going to do over here? Python. Let's call him Python and Waterdrip. We're just going to use the actual name. So, actually, Python gets in with the Zerglings. That's a big deal. This Adept is going to have to chase him around. Now, I'm not sure if that was a smart decision with the whole shading out. By the way, I know this game basically by heart because I just played it. So, but I'm going to pretend that I don't. Alright, let's see if we can get any probe kills. 1 probe kill, and 2 Zerglings have gone down so far. So, there are only 2 left. Let's see if he could do something else. Just getting a general scout off. Obviously, there's a Stargate over here that's not building a Void Ray, so delaying that is actually a big deal. You can see that this is, in fact, a diamond game, because that Stargate was up for a while, and he has quite a lot of stuff. He could have started that Void Ray up a while ago. He's also floating a lot of minerals. He's probably going to go for a 3rd base shortly here, probably right after the Void Ray, because the Overlord Python's sending back his Overlords right now, hoping to save their lives. This one's doomed, so I guess he's just abandoning that one. 2 Adepts are making across the map. What does Python have to defend? He has not much. He doesn't really have any units. He's got a few queens, no zerglings, so these Adepts might actually be able to get some work done if microed correctly. Voidray killing Overlord, Probe going to presumably make a Nexus. Adepts are over here. Queen is just shooting a little needles at them. And now the Adepts are getting into the base. There are no zerglings here to defend, so actually he could get quite a lot of worker kills. Let's see how many he gets. One worker kill, 2 worker kills, 3 worker kills, and 4 worker kills. Alright, one of the Adepts is dead. Maybe this one will be able to get out. And it's dead. Okay. Very cool. And no Nexus went up because he was microing hard, and now he has 800 minerals in the bank. So this is very clearly a diamond game and not a professional game. He already has a forge up. He's got a gateway, a Stargate, and a forge. Name a more iconic combo for Protoss players these days. He's got a cannon going up right in his natural. Questionable decision making in terms of money, seeing as Python has 16 army supply, and all of that is queens. So I don't know if the cannon is necessary right now, but whatever. Python going for a lair, a roach warren, and an evolution chamber, as well as adding on additional gases. The worker count is 42 to 31, so Protoss is actually ahead in workers right now, which is a pretty big deal. And somehow he managed to spend all his money. What did he spend it on? He spent it on a lot, additional gateways. How many void rays are we talking over here? 2 void rays. How many workers have been killed this game, I believe? What's the button for that? That's worker supply and army supply. What's the hotkey for how many workers have been killed? I mean, I guess I could just look over here. 4 drones and 1 probe and 2 adepts is the death tally right now. Void Ray's just getting around, making sure there are no overlords, possibly suspicious about a Nidus Swarm. 10 workers coming up for Python at once right now, so he is just heavily droning. And as you can see, he's actually catching up right now in the worker count. Mostly because Protoss is playing super passive. 3rd base done for Protoss. 3rd base not even started for Zerg, so that's going to be a bit of an issue, I imagine, unless Python's planning on doing some kind of aggression or maybe getting something done. Charge coming up as well as +1 shields. Does he already have +1 attack? He does not. He's starting with the +1 shields. A questionable choice at the least. I don't see why you would go for this shield before attack. Alright, we have roach speed and +1 coming up at the same time for Python over here while he's still droning. Still making some queens, probably for base defense. And we have a Voyager over here just being annoying. Queens are coming to intercept. How many workers did that one kill? So 6 workers have gone down in total right now. And that leaves us at an even worker count, actually. So Python's been heavily macroing and actually doing a pretty good job, as it seems. He's even ahead in army supply right now. So Python's just ahead in supply in general, even though Protoss managed to get his 3rd base out quicker than Zerg managed to get his 4th base out, I should say. Alright, Overlord coming in over, not Overlord, Overseer coming in over here to get a scout on. This will confirm to Python that it is not indeed more Stargates, it is in fact a transition to ground for now. Another forge is coming up, many gateways, as well as you could see that the Twilight Council is upgrading. Zealot over here, a little bit of a spy. How long will this one survive? I wonder. This guy is very dead, but he did its job. Hallucinated Phoenix just scouting around over here. This guy is still alive, actually. Where are you going, sir? Where? Okay, fine. I guess you could just chill out right over here and not doing much. I mean, maybe you should like be over here in the wall trying to stop. I don't know. Whatever. You know what? We're not going to talk about it. All right, +1 is done right now. Many Ravagers being morphed in as well as many Roaches. In fact, Python has stopped droning altogether, allowing Waterdrip to actually catch up and surpass him in the worker count. So I imagine Python's going to be trying to do something aggressive. Maybe bring the Queens over with the Roaches and Ravagers. Unfortunately, there are a lot of sentries over here, so they could so Waterdrip could honestly just force field this entire area, stop the aggression, get enough warp-ins to defend. But Python does in fact have Ravagers, so he might be able to knock down those force fields. We'll see how it's going. +2, +1 coming up, so Waterdrip is actually skyrocketing ahead in terms of upgrades, worker count, and not army. Python has a considerably larger army supply, 70 to 42, so Python really should be thinking about attacking. Oh my god, Waterdrip is already thinking about going for a 4th. Python just started his 4th, so Protoss is out macroing Zerg right now, which might be a problem considering that Protoss tends to be much more cost efficient in the late game. Python, if you're gonna do something, you need to go now. Hallucinated Phoenix are a constant thing scouting around. Queens intercept that one. I imagine Python is trying to stop him from seeing how many Ravagers and Roaches he actually has over here. He's making a lot of stuff going for +2. Python, you gotta go. Every second that passes allows Waterdrip to get ahead in army, and he is significantly ahead in worker counts. What is that? 16 workers ahead than Python. Let's zoom out a little bit. Wow, double Robo Immortal production right now. That's going to be a big help against these Roaches. Although he's only using one robo because he's in fact supply blocked. Diamond level game. Okay. Expansion coming up over here. Roaches over here. Python really has quite the army. It's 112. It's almost double the army supply right now. Okay, well I say that it is no longer almost double the army supply right now. But Waterdrip is significantly ahead in terms of workers. Like this is actually becoming a bit of a problem. Python really needs to start either getting damage done or start macroing again. Now this is actually quite the army. How many Void Rays are there here? 3 Void Rays. How many Immortals? 2 Immortals against a primarily Roach Ravager. Not primarily, only Roach Ravager army. Alright, Corrosive Bile's coming over here, forcing the Protoss army to back off. Doesn't actually kill anything with that, but severely wounds the Void Ray. And just posturing over here over a minute. Python, you gotta go. You gotta go, man. Look at him. He's retreating all the way. Get the cannon. Yeah, very good. Honestly, start Corrosive Biling the mineral line. Like, this is the thing you should be doing. Force fields over here, stopping a lot of the army from attacking. Okay, Corrosive Biles don't actually kill anything, but just being able to tell the army to leave is a very good thing. 74 to 58 worker supply. Python is significantly ahead in the army supply. Oh my god, he's actually really pushing back this Protoss thing. If he had some Zerglings over here, that'd be great. Meanwhile, these Void Rays are literally... Oh, wow. Okay. Well, that was unneeded error. Corrosive Bile is still being launched up, forcing this Protoss army to do a little bit of a dance. Roach is coming up from the back. If he could just do a little bit better micro... Oh, very good. Okay, so Python's actually getting quite the surround, quite the concave. All that's left are 3 Immortals. Battery overcharge over here. Unfortunately, that's not what the army is. Okay, a lot of Stalkers over here. And for a while, this Zerg army was on the move command. 70 workers, so Python really has not killed a lot of workers, and these Stalkers are going to be a bit of a problem. These Immortals and Void Ray are just constantly shooting. Stalkers have blinked, they actually blink back, and remember that the upgrades are quite significantly in favor of the Protoss. I don't think that this attack is going very well. I mean, he killed a lot of workers, Python that is, but he did not, I mean, he killed a lot of the army supply is now even, and the workers are close to even, but Waterdrip is still significantly ahead in the worker count, like 10 workers ahead, and for Protoss, that's a big deal. Alright, +1 Carapace coming up for Python, as well as a Hive, so he's actually been taking up over here. Meanwhile, on the Protoss side of things, we have a High Templar being warped in, as well as a lot more cannons to defend this base, some static defense to defend this base. Not really using the Stargate anymore, not really making any more Void Rays. A lot of Archons, though, so it seems like he wants to go for a ground-based army for now. And now it is Waterdrip in the lead in terms of the army supply, and in terms of the worker supply. Hydra's coming up here for Python. They'll be quite useful against the Immortals. I don't know how useful they'll be against the Charge Lots and Archons, though. It's always a difficult balance to make between Roaches, Hydras, and even Ravagers, and now Python actually has a lot of Zerglings in this army, which will probably be killed in a split second. That's actually a lot of waste of money. All those could be drones. It's 65 workers to 81 workers. Remember, at some point, Protoss might have so many workers that his army supply might be less than the Zerg's army supply, so that is definitely something to consider. So far, we only have 1 evolution chamber upgrading right now for Python. I'd love to see another one making over here. Roach scouts these Zealots over here. I wonder if Python's going to split off some army to intercept those or to defend or something to that effect. But the Roach is just guarding that base, making sure that a 4th doesn't go up. Unfortunately, does Python know about the fact that Protoss has a 4th base? He does not. This is actually a big issue. Python might be assuming that it's 3 base to 4 base right now. These Zealots are making their way over here. Don't underestimate the power 4 Zealots can do. Thankfully, Queens are actually quite close here, and they have a lot of energy for transfuse. Zealots run pie, they're trying to do something. Meanwhile, Protoss is actually moving out with this army, presumably, and correctly, assuming that Zerg is repositioning their army to deal with this. If Protoss goes in right now, he can actually get something done. There's a little bit of an army here to defend, but they'll be destroyed by this thing. Python is actually around 10, 14 supply ahead in terms of army supply. So he should be able to hold on over here. In fact, he does. Protoss is not fighting over here. That's only because he's stalling for these Zealots to get across the map again. Python is actually feeling a little bit angsty going off creep. Not that there is a lot of creep. To get something done, Protoss moves back. Zealots over here making the roundabout journey. Queens are over there to intercept. If Python is dumb, he'll move the entire army to deal with the Zealots. If Python is smart, he'll only use the Queens. Let's see, is Python dumb or is Python smart? Well, he's losing some drones. Queens move over here. Meanwhile, the army stays there while Protoss tries to engage. I don't like this trade for Protoss. He's losing a lot and not gaining a lot. Corrosive Biles make the army stand back. This Voyager is having a field day. 10 kills already. Come on, Hydras. Get. Oh, wow, recall. I don't know about... Well, I mean, there wasn't really much to do. A lot of things died there for free, and Python is now significantly ahead in terms of the army supply. Protoss Waterdrip has 91 workers, so a lot of his supplies and workers. And Python's actually ahead in supply. Wow, and he's feeling gutsy. He's actually going for a 5th base right now. Let's see what happens over here. Python marching down, completely ignoring this base, going straight for the army. Not sure how I feel about that. Okay, Corrosive Bios actually, I think, hit more of Zerg than Protoss. Okay, nice little split off. Okay, maybe it wasn't intentional, actually. If he splits off some of the army and just goes straight in for there, that would actually be a very smart decision. Very good. Okay, so there is a shield better overcharge, which is going to make things a little bit difficult for this Zerg player. Come on, go into the mineral and you... Oh, no, 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 no! All army. It's an all army issue. Alright, Spinecrawl over here dealing with this Zerg counterattack. Meanwhile, this Zerg army is looking smaller and smaller by the second. Stalkers are being warped in. I'm not sure about that choice. Corrosive Bios don't hit anything. He should have launched them like over here. That way the Immortals would have been forced to either walk towards the Roaches and Ravagers or get hit by Corrosive Bios. But as it is, it looks like this Zerg army is going to be cleaned up quite well. And Waterdrip, Protos actually loses a lot of workers. Remember, he was at like 91 workers before the fight started. Now he's at 76. So Python making the worker count significantly more even. Hydra's going to die. Will this Roach live to tell the tale? Run, little Roach! Run, little Roach! And we have double carrier production now. Sorry, I missed that, but we have 2 Stargates over here. We actually have 3 Stargates total. And plus 2 air weapons coming up right now, as well as 4 more High Templar. It seems as if Protoss is done with his ground army and is now going to be moving into Sky Toss. Resources lost show that Protoss has lost not a lot more, around 3,000 more resources than Zerg. So Zerg, despite having less economy for most of the game, is actually trading better, and now is actually ahead in economy somehow, some way. It's possible that Protoss just has, a lot of workers doing absolutely nothing. A lot of workers doing absolutely nothing, and that is why Zerg is ahead. I doubt he will be for long, considering that these workers are making the march to this base. +3/+3 coming up for Python right now, as well as 7 more Hydralisks and 8 more Zerglings. It looks as though he's done making Roaches. I'm not sure about that decision, considering that there will actually be a lot of High Templar and Charge Lots, I imagine, with this army. Storm is coming up, as well as a Dark Shrine. And Python is almost maxed out. He is going for another attack. A lot of Roaches and Ravagers. A shockingly small amount of Hydras. Actually, some Banelings over here, possibly to deal with... Not sure why he made Banelings, but you know what, we're going to... just ignore that for now. They're probably not going to do anything anyway, considering that they're going to have to march through this army. There's actually a lot of carriers over here, but Python is feeling brave. He's actually moving forward against the carriers, despite having very little anti-air. There actually is very little anti-air over here. Lots of Corrosive Bios raining down. Maybe Python's hoping to get a carrier with Corrosive Bios. I'm not sure if that's a smart plan. A lot of Roaches and Hydras dying over here. It's possible that Python is just thinking, hey, these Roaches and Ravagers... Oh, wow, actually it's a carrier with Roaches and Ravagers. It's possible that he's thinking, oh, I'm just going to trade out this army because they're not really useful anymore. We have Zealots over here right now. There's actually no detection over here, and we saw Protoss make a Dark Shrine. If he wanted to send some Dark Templar to this base, doesn't have any detection, to this base, or this base doesn't have any detection, that is a smart move. So far, Protoss is still ahead in terms of workers, but is quite far behind in terms of army. But his army is carriers, and there's not a critical mass of Hydras. In fact, there's very little Hydras. What is the unit situation? 11 Hydras to 4 carriers. I'm not sure if that's going to be a thing. And actually, there are 3 Dark Templar making their way across the map to this base, it seems. So these Queens are going to have a rude awakening. Meanwhile, we have 5 Vipers coming up here for Python. So he is making the transition into Vipers, clearly. The problem with Vipers is that there are High Templar, actually, which could feed back the Vipers, and the Vipers won't actually be able to do anything if the Protoss plays perfectly. Okay, Dark Templar actually getting a lot of kills over here, a lot of drones dying. More drones coming in here for the slaughter. The Queens are just like, hey, I'm out of here. Okay, come on, Python, get these drones out. You don't have a lot of drones to spare. Protoss is targeting this base. Meanwhile, he's moving his army in over here, and by army I mean, what is this? This is 4 carriers? Where are all the other carriers? He has a bunch of carriers. They're over here. Alright, Waterdrip actually gets this base. Does he know about this base? He does not, except for this little bit of creep, so he's probably not going to go in over there. Alright, Zerg is now engaging these carriers. There are not enough carriers here right now to actually do a lot. I imagine these Hydras could actually win the fight, especially with Corrosive Bios, if he gets lucky. We have Vipers chasing over here, and this army is actually grouping up with the High Templar. So Storms, some meaty Storms, but Python is weathering them from Waterdrip. A lot of his supply is now in autumn colors. Carriers flying over here. Vipers moving in, maybe looking to get some abducts. 1 abduct, 2 abducts, 3 abducts, and 2 of the carriers go down. This 3rd carrier, will it go down? I don't think it'll go down. It looks like it's going to live. Oh, another abduct, and the carrier will actually die. So, was that a good trade for Python? Well, let's take a look at the resources lost. So, Python is actually trading very efficiently over here. This is surprising, considering that it's a Protoss army. I'm surprised that the Storm didn't kill everything. How did the Storm not kill everything? Only 17 Hydras have gone down, 97 Roaches though, and 26 Ravagers. That's actually a lot. But the Hydras withered the storm surprisingly well. I'm actually quite shocked by that. We have 2 more Zealots moving in to this base. Queens are already moving to, well, they're nearby, so they might be able to do something. Oh no, but it looks like the Zealots are actually moving over here. Wait, where are the Zealots moving? Where are you going? Here? Yeah, they're going here. And this poor Queen, oh, this poor Queen. What are the upgrades looking at like right now? +3/+3 versus +2/+3 and +2 air weapons. So actually quite good upgrades. But 19 minutes in. Professionals would have been at +3/+3 like 5 minutes in. That Zealot does not get the base. Alright, and Protos is actually expanding over here. So, this is actually very interesting. We have a higher economy Protoss playing against a lower economy Zerg, but the Zerg seems to be trading better. Which I find quite shocking. How many Zealots have gone down? 65 Zealots. Interesting. Okay, so it looks like Zerg is actually thinking about going into this space, maybe kill it. There are a lot of High Templar here, though, but there are only 3 carriers. So it's really just these High Templar and the 3 carriers. Oh, actually, yoinks the carrier in here. Looks like Python is actually going around this space, maybe thinking about trying to target this space. That's a lot of High Templar, but it's only High Templar, really. There are only 2 more carriers here because one of them died to the abduct. Shield Better Overcharge over here. Unfortunately, carriers got abducted, so the Shield Better Overcharge doesn't actually do anything, and both of them go down. How many carriers have gone down already? 8 carriers have gone down. Wow. 2 more carriers are here, possibly just for the slaughter. Alright, doesn't look like Python's going over there. He seems like he's just holding his position over here. Not surprising, considering that he's probably dealing with these things. These dumb Zealots actually trading very well against these Queens. And when I say actually trading very well, I mean trading for energy. It doesn't look like they're going to survive. But maybe the next batch will. Looks like these guys are going to go down. Alright, meanwhile, Python's Vipers are actually on the chase. He's moving his army over here. There's not a lot of stacked defense over here, so he might actually be able to get something done. Vipers over here, as well as the ground army coming over here. Carriers get yoinked and not assassinated. Okay, one of them is assassinated. The other carrier manages to live. And yoink again. Come on, Hydras, target it down. Another yoink, and now it's dead. So what was that? 3 yoinks for 1 carrier. Fascinating. These Vipers are still fine. There's not a lot of anti-air, which is quite interesting. So these Vipers actually have free reign. Come on, Python. Get going. Come on, there's nothing here. Yeah, kill the battery, kill the cannon, and then you just kill all the probes. Honestly, kill the base. Protoss does not have a lot of army. Wow, Protoss does not have a lot of army. It's 135 army supply to 62, and some of Protoss' army is actually over here dealing with these Queens. That base goes down, along with, I guess, most of the workers that were there. How many probes have gone down? 62 probes have gone down, and Python is now actually, he managed to even the worker supply, so that's actually really impressive. In terms of resources lost, okay, Protoss has still lost around 1,000 more resources than Python. How much of that is gas? Protoss has lost around 2,000 more gas than Zerg, so that is quite intense. And now Zerg actually has, Python that is, has these bases established. Protoss lost this base, but has this base established, so it is 2 mining bases for Protoss versus 1, 2.5 for Zerg. Alright, so it looks like Waterdrip is still in ahead. Waterdrip, that is the Protoss, is still ahead in terms of the resource collection. +1 melee actually coming up here for Zerg. I guess he's just going to do something over here. Zealots decide to try and attack the Spine Crawler one at a time. This is not going to end well for them. Will this Queen go down? No, transfuses are actually over here. Python seems to be involved. Oh god, all of Python's army is moving out of position while the Protoss army moves red and over here. There are a lot of drones here as well as a base. One of Python's only mining bases is right over here, and it looks like he's going to lose it. Fortunately, a lot of drones are saved, but that Zealot attack definitely did what it was supposed to do. 1, 2, 3, 4 carriers abducted. Will they all die? Yes, they will. Blanketing storms all across the Zerg army, but there's no actual ground army or carriers to finish it off, and all those High Templar die. That was actually a lot of High Templar to lose. How many High Templar have gone down? 14 High Templar have gone down. I don't think that this is going Protoss' way. He's not trading cost efficiently. He's actually down a lot more than 1,000 resources right now. He's down, what, 5,000 resources right now? Yikes. That is not good. These Zealots are marching all the way around. Meanwhile, Zerg has discovered this base, although he should be able to figure it out just from logic reasoning. A lot of probes go down, as well as this base I think is going to go down. There are only Zealots, 2 Dark Templar. There is no detection here. That is a big deal. These Dark Templar are going to have a field day. How many kills? 6 kills and 3 kills. There is 1 carrier over here. Looks like the Vipers are in the chase. Hydras target that thing down. The carrier goes down. And now Python turns around, but leaves the Vipers here to die to the 1 carrier. A questionable decision, and Waterdrip decides to leave the game. Alright. What am I doing? Oh, I'm dealing with these outs. I tend to actually like to kill all the stuff. So what I wanted to show you guys this game is the reason why I want to show you guys this game is because normally when I win against Protos as Zerg when they go Sky Toss and stuff, is normally they make like a big mistake. Like they don't make stack defense and I'm able to just march into their base and kill them. They don't make a ground army and so I'm able to just march into their base and kill them. They don't do zealot attack so I'm able to just focus on one thing and I can win in that one thing. They don't make High Templar so I'm able to just build Hydras and wipe out their carriers. This game, however, the guy did build some static defense. He did build High Templar, and there were very good storms. He did Zealot run-bys, and he made carriers. So I was actually surprised that I won this game, and I was surprised that I won it so well, too, is what shocked me. Like, I really, really won this game well. I was maxed out for a lot of it. I had very good upgrades, +3/+3. I almost never survived that long. One thing that I noticed that I did this game, which I found interesting, was that I didn't go for lurkers. I never went for lurkers. Usually I go for a few lurkers just to zone away the High Templar, but this game I just weathered the storms and I survived. I'm actually kind of shocked that that worked out. So I'm curious what you guys think about this game. I definitely enjoyed playing it, and thank you for joining me here. I guess that's it. I'm gonna end the stream now. Bye.